So we will get started on our backs today. And grabbing your block, we're going to take it into just a little bit of a heart opener to start. So you can take your block right underneath kind of your thoracic spine. So it'll be kind of towards the bottom of your brow line, bottom of the rib cage. And you can take it to a couple different heights. I personally like to take it to level 1. So kind of the lowest the height the block can be. And you can place it either lengthwise or along your spine, just kind of figuring out what feels best. This is a lot of personal preference here. And you want to lay back onto this block and feel as if the sternum is the part that's kind of lifting the highest. So it's not under your low back and it's not under the shoulders, but you're creating that lift of the heart. And then allow your arms to release down by your sides. That's usually the most comfortable option here. And allow your eyes to close for a moment and just enjoying this really passive, gentle opening in the front of the body. And you can always adjust the block if you feel like it's poking you in different areas. But just start to focus your mind, focusing your breath. And as always, tuning in with how your body's feeling this morning. Making sure that you're aware of any soreness or any areas that might need extra attention or modification. See if you can start to move your breath into your rib cage and even expanding the bottom ribs. Maybe start to move it into your belly as well. I find that in this position it's a little harder to expand the belly when I breathe, but you can still send the breath there. Each time you exhale, allow your mind to focus a little more on what's happening on your mat and let go of something that doesn't have to do with this yoga practice. And if you feel ready, you can start to find your Ujjayi breath, so those inhales and exhales through the nose, creating that little constriction at the back of the throat. Maybe creating that oceanic sound, and it should feel like that kind of fogging up of a mirror with your mouth closed. Take about 5 more breaths here. Couple more breaths. Then you can gently blink your eyes open and just bringing your forearms to the mat so you can come up to your elbows for a moment and just slide your block out from underneath you. But keep hold of your block. We're going to use it to activate the core a little bit here on our backs. So laying all the way back down, just holding the block in front of you for a moment. Just start to lift your shoulders off the mat and lift your legs off the mat. So we're moving right into a hollow body, low boat shape. Then see if you can extend your arms back behind you holding the block. This is going to be pretty challenging right off the bat, but bend your knees, bring the block towards your legs, place it between your knees, so transferring the block, then extend everything long again. We're going to do this a few more rounds. Take an inhale, bring everything into the middle, switch the block to your hands, then extend everything long. Bring everything back to the middle. Block goes between the knees, so we're alternating between hands and knees each time. Then extend. Take about 3 more rounds. This can be on your own time, as fast or as slow as you want, really trying to keep the shoulder blades hovering off the floor. Take about 1 more full round. Those abs should feel very, very active at this point. Then when you feel like you've done plenty of rounds and your abs feel really strong, you can lay back down for a moment, just holding that block into your chest. We're going to use it for one more exercise, but just draw your knees into your chest. You can give it a little rock side to side, just letting go of the abs for a second. Now, final warm up for the abs right here. We took this once in class before, but we're taking that bicycle shape with the block transfer. So taking your left knee into your chest, right leg extends long. Allow the block to become between your right elbow and your left knee and find a bicycle shape. So you're squeezing that block between your knee and their bottom foot is hovering off the ground. So your shoulders are lifted up as well. Now draw your knees into your chest, switch the block and knee. So now it's between your right knee and left elbow. And then take that same little twist. So it's like you're taking bicycle abs, but utilizing that block. Gently draw the knee in, switch to the other elbow and extend. Gently draw the knee in, switch and extend. We'll take 2 more rounds right and left. Draw the knee in, switch and extend. Draw the knee in, switch and extend. Final full round. Draw the knee in, switch and extend. Last one, draw the knee in, switch and extend. Draw both knees into your chest, remove that block. You can place it to the side of your body and just give yourself a hug again. You should feel nice and warm in the core now after those 2 exercises. Give yourself a little rock again, maybe make little circles with your knees. And then switching your grip to underneath your legs, just start to rock forward and back. So taking a little rock and roll here. Doesn't need to be fast, it doesn't need to have a lot of momentum. But just giving yourself a little massage along the spine. And then eventually we'll make our way to a tabletop. So however it feels good, crossing your legs underneath you, coming to your hands and knees, and just stacking the shoulders over the wrists, hips over the knees. Now let's stretch out through the front of the body a little bit with our cows and cats. So as you inhale, drop your belly, bring your gaze high. This should feel like a nice stretch through the abdominal muscles. And then exhale, press through the palms, scoop through the belly, round the spine, finding that cat pose. Inhale, drop the belly, bring the gaze up again. And exhale, round the spine, scoop through the belly. We'll take a couple more rounds. Inhale, drop the belly, bring the gaze up. And exhale, press through the palms, tuck the tail. Inhale, drop the belly, bring the gaze high. And exhale, press through the palms, scoop through the belly. Now coming back to a neutral spine, so find length from the crown of the head to your tailbone. We'll extend the right arm forward in front of us, left leg extends back. So finding length in opposition from your fingers all the way down to your opposite toes. Take an inhale here. As you exhale, elbow comes to the knee underneath you. So really finding a contraction here, rounding the spine as if you're taking a little crunch. Inhale, extend everything long again. Exhale, find that same contraction. Elbow comes to the knee. Inhale, extend everything long. Exhale, find that contraction. Final extension as you inhale. Now this time, bend your left knee. Reach your right arm back to grab the inside of your left foot. Now once you have that grip, inhale, start to kick your foot into your hand. Create a back bend here. So you shine your heart forward. That foot into the hand creates that arc through the entire body. Take another round of breath here, kicking a little more on your exhale. Now as you inhale as gently as you can, extend your arm and leg long again in opposition. Then exhale, let your hand and knee come down to the mat. So we'll do all of that on the other side. So this time it's left fingertips forward, right leg extends back behind you. Taking a moment to find your balance here, trying to feel equal weight between your right hand and your left knee so we're not shifted forward or back. Take an inhale here. Exhale, find your contraction, elbow to knee underneath you. Inhale, extend everything long. Exhale, contract, elbow to knee. Inhale, extend long. Exhale, contract, elbow to knee. Now inhale, extend. We're taking it into that back bend. So bend the right leg, reach the left arm back to grab the inside of that foot and start to kick into the hand as you inhale. Notice that arc, kind of a circle around your entire body that you're making with that connection. Keep reaching your chest forward. One more round of breath here. On your next inhale, gently reach the arm and leg long again. Then exhale, hand and knee come back to the mat. From here, just gently tuck your toes, send your hips high, downward dog. So taking a few moments in this down dog, as always, pedaling out the feet, bending one knee at a time, just doing what feels good here. Starting to allow that pressure of the hands into the floor, the hips lifting nice and high. And then when you feel ready, you can find stillness in your down dog. So both heels lengthen towards the mat. Your legs are very active here. The belly and rib cage press closer to the thighs to open through the armpits and fronts of the shoulders. That slight lift of the tailbone to tip the pelvis a little. And make sure your palms and all 10 fingers are active here, so they're pressing into the mat to help stabilize you. Now on your next inhale, reach your right leg high. Just find a three-legged dog, opening the hips. You can bend the knee a little bit. Try to keep your right shoulder square towards the floor, but that nice opening of the hips can sometimes create a beautiful stretch in the psoas. So taking another breath here, finding whatever movement feels good. On your next inhale, straighten the legs, square off the hips, and exhale, downward dog. Right foot meets the left. On your next inhale, reach the left leg high, three-legged dog. On the opposite side, open the hips, bend the knee. Take those same bits of movement here, keeping your left hand equally pressing into the floor. Shoulder is square. One more breath. On your next inhale, straighten the legs, square off the hips, and exhale, foot lands on the floor. Now bringing your gaze forward, start to tiptoe your feet to the front of your mat, ending in your ragdoll. So with our ragdoll, the feet come hip width distance. We take a generous bend in the knees. The torso hangs heavy over the thighs, the head relaxes. As always, there are arm variations you can take, either grabbing opposite elbows, maybe interlacing the fingers behind the head, just doing whatever feels good. Take a few breaths here to find a little movement, maybe sway side to side, shake the head yes and no. Most importantly, letting that head be as heavy as possible, imagining that's a weight that's helping create length through the entire spine. Now take one more deep inhale here. Exhale, gently release the arms, keeping this bend in the knees. Start to roll up through the spine nice and slow. Let your head be the very last thing to come up. Once you arrive, take a big shoulder roll up and back, opening through the front of the body. Step the feet together underneath you, finding our standing mountain pose, our Tadasana. So rooting into the floor with the legs, the arms release down by the sides, palms facing forward. Feel your triceps activate and feel your back activate as well. Belly button pulls in and up slightly, and then feel the crown of the head reaching to the ceiling. So imagine you get 2 inches taller as you stand here. And take an inhale, reach your arms high, let your gaze follow. And exhale, bring your hands to heart center. Take a moment to bow your chin and close your eyes. Set your intention for your practice today. Whatever the intention is, maybe it's about you, maybe it's about something else. And let's seal that intention in with a breath. So deep inhale through the nose. Open mouth, exhale, let it go. Find your Ujjayi breath again. So sealing the lips, inhales and exhales through the nose. Create that little constriction. Take about 3 rounds of Ujjayi here and feel the heat start to build in the body. Two more breaths. Gently blink the eyes open. Maintain your Ujjayi breath as we start moving forward. Inhale, reach your arms high, let your gaze follow. Now as you exhale, we'll take a gentle back bend. So finding a goalpost shape in the arms, a cactus shape, shine your heart to the ceiling and just open through the heart. It doesn't need to be a really big back bend this first time. As you inhale, take out the back bend, reach your arms high. Then exhale, fold forward from the hips. So finding that forward fold here, head goes low. Inhale, find a halfway lift, lengthen your spine, remembering that the fingertips can come to the mat or hands to the shins for a little extra support. We're aiming for a lengthened spine, not a rounded or arched back. Now as you exhale, plant your palms, step back into a high plank, knees up or down. Remembering if you drop your knees, the tailbone still stays in line with the rest of the spine. Take an inhale here. As you exhale, with control, lower all the way down to the belly, hugging the elbows into the body. Once you arrive, keep your hands by your rib cage, untuck your toes behind you, and as you inhale, we'll find a baby cobra lifting the right leg off the floor. So the top part of the rib cage lifts, the right leg lifts off as well. Just notice that activation into the glute and hamstring, and that connection, almost as if you're pulling the right heel towards the left shoulder so that you can feel the adductors engage. Take another inhale here, and exhale, let the chest and leg come down. Now we'll lift the opposite leg as you inhale. So left leg raises up, chest lifts up. Now check that there's minimal weight in those hands, so you could hover them off the mat if necessary. The top of the right foot still presses into the mat, then think left heel to right shoulder so that the adductors engage. Take another inhale here. And exhale, release the chest and leg down. Inhale, press back to your tabletop position, so all fours. Then exhale, tuck the toes, send your hips high, downward facing dog. Once you arrive in your downward dog, take 3 full Ujjayi breaths. Gently bring your gaze forward, step your feet to the top of the mat, toes come to touch underneath you. Inhale, find your halfway lift, lengthen your spine. Then exhale, fold forward. Inhale, reach your arms all the way up to the sky, letting your gaze follow. Then exhale, hands come to heart center. Moving into our second sun A, inhale, reach the arms high. As you exhale, here's that same back bend. So pull the elbows down by the sides, open through the heart, maybe go a little further this time. Inhale, reach the arms high again, take out your back bend. Then exhale, hinge forward from the hips, forward fold. Inhale, find your halfway lift, lengthen the spine. Then exhale, plant the palms, step back into your high plank, knees up or down. Inhale here, shifting forward if your legs are straight. Then exhale, lower all the way down to your belly again with control. Untuck your toes underneath you, keeping the hands by the rib cage. Squeeze your legs together, so feel the inner thighs engage, feel the whole inside seam of your legs touching. Now as you inhale, lift your chest and legs off the mat without separating the legs. Keep hugging the elbows back into the body. Lift the legs a little bit higher. Imagine you're reaching the toes towards the back wall. The heart shines forward. Maybe hover your hands off the mat for one more inhale. And exhale, release the chest and legs down. Inhale, press back through your tabletop position, all fours. Then exhale, tuck the toes, hips go high, downward dog. Once you find your down dog, take 2 full breaths here. Bring your gaze forward, step your feet all the way to the top of your mat, toes come together underneath you. Once you arrive, inhale, find your halfway lift, lengthening the spine. Then exhale, fold forward again. Inhale, reach your arms all the way up to the sky, let your gaze follow. And exhale, hands come to heart center. One final round of this sun A to get our blood flowing. Inhale, reach the arms high, look up. Exhale, take your little back bend again, hugging the elbows down, open the heart, maybe go a little further. Now inhale, reach the arms high, take out your back bend. Then exhale, hinge forward from the hips, forward fold. Inhale, find your halfway lift, lengthen the spine. Exhale, plant your palms, step back to your high plank, knees up or down. Inhale in this high plank, then exhale, lower all the way down to the belly with control. Untuck the toes behind you, squeeze the legs together, and now this time reach your arms back by your sides, palms facing down, so your hands are right by your thighs. Now as you inhale, lift the heart, the legs, and the arms off the mat. So the arms reach back towards the feet reach back towards the wall, but your heart lifts up and forward, keeping length at the back of your neck so we're not shifting the gaze too far towards the ceiling. Keep squeezing your legs together. Take another inhale. See if you can lift everything higher. And exhale, release it all back down to the mat. Bring your hands back by the sides of your rib cage. Palms are down. Then inhale, press through your tabletop position. And then exhale, tuck the toes, hips go high, downward facing dog. Once you arrive in your down dog, take 2 more full Ujjayi breaths. Come back to the inhales and exhales through the nose. Gently bring your gaze forward, step your feet all the way to the top of your mat, toes come to touch underneath you. Inhale, find a halfway lift, lengthening your spine. And exhale, forward fold, release the chest down. We'll inhale right into our chair pose here. So as you inhale, bend the knees, sweep the arms down and then up towards the ceiling, finding that length through the fingertips as much as you sit down into the hips. Make sure the weight is towards the heels here. You can peek down, make sure you can see all 10 toes. Then think about knitting your ribs together just slightly. Engage the low abs here to take out an excessive arch in the spine. Take another inhale, sit the hips a little bit lower, reach the arms a little bit higher. And exhale, forward fold. Release the chest down, straightening through the legs. Inhale, find a halfway lift, lengthen the spine. Then exhale, step your left foot back, setting up for our warrior one. So right leg bends, the left heel steps back and plants down onto the floor. So flat foot behind you. Inhale, reach the arms up, warrior one, Virabhadrasana 1. So pulling the right hip and shoulder back, pressing the left hip forward. You might even feel a stretch in the front of that left hip if it is a little tight today. See if you can relax your shoulders away from your ears without actively pressing them down. Spiral the pinkies in slightly. Now here, take an inhale. Start to find a little bit of a back bend, so arching through the whole front of the body without really kind of pressing into the low back. Now as you exhale, allow your hands to come down to frame your right foot. Inhale, step back into your downward dog. Right foot meets the left. Take just 1 Ujjayi breath here. Now bring your gaze forward, step your feet to the top of the mat, toes come to touch underneath you. Inhale, find your halfway lift, lengthen the spine. Then exhale, step the right foot back, setting up for our warrior one on the opposite side. So left leg bends, right heel spirals down to the floor. You inhale, reach the arms up. This time it's left hip and shoulder that pull back, right hip that presses forward. Relax the shoulders, but engage the triceps. Take an inhale, start to find that same back bend. So lifting from the heart first to find that nice up and back in the body. Then exhale, hands come down to frame the left foot. Inhale, step your left foot back to meet the right, downward dog. Hips lift up nice and high. Take 1 full Ujjayi breath in this down dog. Bring your gaze forward, gently step your feet to the top of the mat, toes come to touch underneath you. Inhale, find your halfway lift, lengthen the spine. Then exhale, forward fold. Inhale, chair pose again. Bend those legs, reach the arms up nice and high. Make sure you sit nice and low here. Now as you exhale, bring your right arm back, left arm forward, finding a little twist through the spine. Now make sure the twist only happens in the upper body. The legs have stayed the same. So pull your left hip and knee back. Take an inhale here. Now maintain this twist as you exhale. Reach the left fingertips down towards the outside of the right foot. So we're tipping that body forward, hooking the left elbow to the outside of the right knee, and reaching the right fingertips high. You can look up towards those right fingertips if it's comfortable for you. Keep bending those knees. One more round of breath here. Now keep the twist as you inhale, bring the body upright again. Then exhale, reach the right arm back high, untwisting, sitting back into your chair. Take an inhale here, I know the legs are burning. Then exhale, left arm goes back, right arm forward, twisting the opposite direction. Take an inhale here, sit a little deeper. Exhale, right elbow to the outside of the left knee, hand towards the outside of the foot, finding the left fingertips reaching high, look towards the ceiling. Checking that your legs are really squeezing towards each other here. So those adductors are engaged, feet are together. Make sure that right hip and knee pull back slightly. One more round of breath. Now keep the twist as you inhale, bringing the body all the way up to that capital T. Then exhale, reach the left arm high. Take an inhale here, we're still in that chair. Exhale, take the arms back behind you, interlace the fingers. So as you inhale, reach the hands down as the chest reaches up. Just taking one moment here in this little shoulder opener. Final round of breath here, inhale. Exhale, sit deeper in your chair, reach the arms high, and take a forward fold. Body goes low, release through the legs. Long time for that chair, hopefully you're warm now. Inhale, find a halfway lift, lengthen your spine. And exhale, step the left foot back, setting up for our warrior one. So right leg is forward, left leg is back, heel spirals to the floor. Inhale, reach the arms up. Bend nice and deep into that front leg, maybe a little deeper this time. Take an inhale here. Exhale, bring the hands behind the back, interlace the fingers again. So this is where we just were. As you inhale, reach the arms down as the chest reaches up. Then exhale, bring your right shoulder towards your right knee, humbling your warrior. So as you do this, the arms will reach away from the tailbone, your head will drop. So this can be a very challenging pose to balance in. Make sure your feet still feel like they're pulling towards each other and pressing into the floor. Your adductors are engaged as the arms reach high. Keep your core strong. One more round of breath. Next inhale, start to bring your hands towards your tailbone as the torso comes up. Release your grip and reach the arms high towards the sky. Then exhale, warrior two. So pivoting so your hips and shoulders face the side of your mat. The feet will spread out slightly with the side of your left foot parallel to the back of your mat. Bend nice and deep into that right leg. Right toes point forward. Now gazing over those right fingertips, inhale, flip your right palm. Reverse your warrior, reach that right arm up and back, opening through the side of your body, finding that nice side stretch here. And now as you exhale, cartwheel the hands down to frame your foot, finding a low lunge into that right leg. Now working into our lizard from here, let your left knee come down to the floor, untuck the toes, and bring both hands inside of your right leg. So the right foot will toe heel outwards slightly. You can find a little bit of external rotation in that leg if that feels good. Then figure out whether you want to be on your forearms or your hands here. You can always come down to your elbows. We have about 3 breaths in this first version of lizard. Final breath. Now if you were on your forearms, gently come back to your hands. Now we'll take that nice quad stretch in this lizard. So gently reaching your right arm up and back, bend your left leg, grab on the outside of that left foot. Now here, once you have that grip, you can always use a strap if it's hard to reach. Gently start to draw your left heel in towards your glutes. So just increasing that stretch. The hips stay dropped nice and low. You have about 3 breaths here. Each exhale is when you can deepen the stretch. Final inhale here. Exhale, gently release the leg back to the mat. Circle the right arm back to the floor. Then toe heel your right foot back in between your 2 hands. Tuck your back toes, engage the leg so the kneecap comes off the mat. Inhale, shift your weight forward, lifting your back leg to 90 degrees. Toes point straight towards the ground. Then exhale, forward fold, feet come together, let the chest release down. Inhale, find your halfway lift, lengthen the spine. Exhale, step the right foot back, setting up for our warrior one on the opposite side. So bending nice and deep into that left leg, right heel comes down. Inhale, reach the arms up. So making sure that this lunge is a little deeper this time since we've been here before. Now take your arms behind your back as you exhale. Interlace your fingers to find that same grip. Inhale, reach your arms down, shine the chest towards the ceiling, finding this little back bend here. Then as you exhale, left shoulder comes to the left knee, folding over the leg, finding this humble warrior. So the hands come away from the tailbone, the head drops nice and low. You should feel a good shoulder opener here. Make sure the legs are still very active, so the adductors are engaged. The feet press into the floor. One more round of breath here. Now as you inhale, hands come back towards the tailbone, body comes up. Gently release the grip and reach the arms high. Then exhale, warrior two. So pivoting so that your hips and shoulders face the right side of your mat. You bend nice and deep into your left leg. Your right foot is firmly planted on the ground, capital T in the arms. Gaze over those left fingertips, finding that drishti, focal point. From here, inhale, flip your front palm, reverse your warrior. Reach the left fingertips up and back. Find that deep side body stretch here, that expansion through the left side of the rib cage. Take one more inhale here. Then exhale, cartwheel the hands all the way down to the mat to frame that foot. Then let your right knee come down and untuck the toes behind you. Finding our lizard, we'll take the left hand inside of the left foot, toe heeling the foot outward slightly. And now from here, coming to your hands or forearms, whatever works best for you. We have about 3 full breaths in this first variation. After your third breath, gently start to come back to the hands if you are on your forearms. And now we'll bend that right leg, reaching the left arm up and back to grab the outside of that foot. So finding our quad stretch here. Once you have that grip, you can start to pull the heel in towards the glutes, dropping the hips down nice and low. Take about 3 or 4 full breaths. Each exhale is a chance for you to deepen the stretch a little bit more. Two more breaths. Final inhale all together. Exhale without slingshotting the leg, gently release it. Allow your left hand to come back to the floor in front of you. Toe heel your left foot in between your 2 hands. Tuck your right toes. Engage the leg so the knee comes off the mat. Now as you inhale, find that big weight shift forward to lift your right leg to 90 degrees. Straightening through both legs, kicking your leg against that back wall. Then as you exhale, right foot meets the left in your forward fold. Release the chest down. Inhale, find a halfway lift, lengthen the spine. Then exhale, plant the palms, step back into a high plank, knees up or down. Take an inhale here. Then as you exhale, lower all the way to your belly with control, keeping yourself in one piece. Now we'll move into a half bow pose from here to work our coordination for dancer pose. So reach your left fingertips forward, palm faces down, so that arm is long in front of you. Now bend your left leg, or right leg, sorry, opposite side today. So bend your right leg, reach your right arm back to grab the outside of that right foot. So you can grab the foot or ankle. I usually suggest the ankle here. So you have the same arm as leg grabbing. As you inhale, start to kick your foot into your hand to lift the chest and thigh off of the floor. From here, gently reach your left fingertips forward and left leg back off the mat. So this is essentially our dancer pose. Obviously, when we're standing, it goes a little bit deeper than this, but this oppositional force of the foot kicking into the hand is key here. So take another inhale. Notice if you kick harder, everything lifts up a little bit higher. And then as you exhale, let your thigh come down, gently release. Allow both arms to come by the sides for a moment. Let one ear come to the mat. You can let your leg go nice and long behind you. Take one more breath right here. Now we'll set up for the other side. So bringing that chin back to the mat. This time the right arm reaches forward in front of you, palm faces down. Allow the left leg to bend and the left arm to reach back and grab the outside of that left ankle. From here, inhale, start to kick that foot into your hand, finding that back bend here, lifting the thigh and chest off of the mat. The more you kick, the more that everything arcs. Now maybe lift the arm and leg off the mat as well, really reaching nice and high. Take another inhale, reach everything higher, kick a little bit more. And then exhale, gently release everything down. Allow your arms to come by your sides, opposite ear on the mat. And just take a moment to relax here, about one full breath. Now bring your chin back to the mat. One final variation of this back bend. We're going into full upward facing bow. So bending both legs, reach back with both hands to grab onto the outsides of your ankles. So we're grabbing onto both legs at the same time, flexing your feet nice and strong. As you inhale, kick your feet into your hands, lift your chest off the floor. See if you can lift your thighs off the floor. So your heart is lifted really high here. Keep squeezing the legs in towards each other, so we don't want to splay the legs out too wide. Take about 2 more breaths here. Each exhale, you get to kick a little bit more. Final inhale. And exhale, release everything down nice and slow. Take a moment here, either bending your knees and windshield wipering your legs side to side, or just finding internal rotation in the legs and pigeon toeing the feet, whatever feels good. And then when you feel like you've released your back, allow your legs to release down by the floor. Take your hands by your rib cage, chin comes to the mat. Inhale, press through your tabletop position, so all fours. Then exhale, tuck the toes, send the hips high, downward facing dog. Take about 3 full rounds of breath here, finding your Ujjayi again, so those deep inhales and exhales through the nose, reconnecting with your breath, reconnecting with your intention. 2 more breaths. From your downward dog, inhale, reach your right leg high. As you exhale, step your foot through between your hands, setting up for our crescent lunge. So that right leg bends nice and deep. The left heel stays off the mat. And inhale, reach the arms up nice and high. So bending into that front leg, feeling that nice drop of the hips, pressing the left heel forward nice and strong. Take another inhale here. Find a little bit of the back bend. Heart shines towards the ceiling. Then exhale, bring your body back to center and bring your right arm back, left arm forward. So finding this same twist in the body that we found in our chair pose. So your heart twists towards that right leg. Now, as you inhale, bring your right arm to the back of your left leg and reach your left fingertips high, finding a back bend here. So that hand is your support on the back leg. Your left fingertips create your back bend. This is called our exalted warrior. Take another round of breath here. As you inhale, come back to that twisted T, so both arms come up, chest is to the side, and then reach your right arm back to the center, back into our crescent lunge. One inhale here, maybe take another little back bend. Then exhale, find your warrior 2. So capital T shape in those arms, gazing over those right fingertips. Inhale, flip your front palm, reverse your warrior, reach the fingertips up and back, finding that deep side body stretch. Then exhale, extended side angle. Right elbow comes to the right knee. Left arm sweeps across the body to really gaze underneath that arm. Make sure you have a long line from your fingertips down to the outside of your foot. And length through the right side of your body. So that bottom side is finding a ton of length here. One more round of breath. Now shift your gaze down towards that right leg. Reach your left fingertips high to the ceiling, and we're starting to shift into our half moon. So this is a challenging transition. You have to both reach your weight forward and your hand forward at the same time. So as you inhale, reach your right arm forward and outside of your right foot to lift your left foot off of the mat. Finding a stacking of the left side over the right. Those fingertips are down for support. You can always take a block underneath your hand as well here. Keep flexing your left foot nice and strong. Open the chest towards the side. Take one more deep inhale here. Now as you exhale, Shiva squat. Left fingertips come to the floor. Right leg bends, tapping the left knee to the right calf. So we're still on one foot. Now keeping the fingertips down, inhale, step your left foot back into a low lunge. Let your back knee come down, untuck the toes behind you, and inhale, reach the arms up, Anjaneyasana. As you exhale, bend the elbows, find a deep arch through the front of the body, reaching the chest high. As you inhale, take out the arch, reaching the arms up again. Now as you exhale, bring your right arm to the back of the left leg, like we did in our crescent lunge. Inhale, reach it up and back again. So feeling how that stretch might be a little more increased when you can have some support behind you. Inhale, bring the body back upright one more time. Bring the arms to a capital T shape, so arms to the side. As you exhale, right hand comes to the floor, left arm reaches up and over in a side bend. So now we're feeling that stretch through the side of the ribs into the obliques. The stretch will change in the hip as well. Inhale, bring the arms back to center one more time, capital T. Then exhale, hands come to frame that right foot. Tuck those toes behind you, engage the left leg. Inhale, shift your weight forward, finding your 90-degree lift again. As you exhale, take a forward fold. Left foot meets the right, release the chest down. Inhale, find a halfway lift, lengthen the spine. Exhale, fold forward again. Inhale, reach the arms all the way up to the sky, let the gaze follow. And exhale, hands come to heart center. So we're setting up for our dancer on this first side. So we're actually going to do the left side first, since that's the hip we were just stretching out. So with our dancer, a few different steps to get into this. Reach your right fingertips high towards the sky. From here, release your left arm down by your side, palm faces to the side of the room. Now bend your left leg, grab the inside. So this is key here. We're grabbing the inside of the foot or ankle. Usually foot is the more accessible option. So you'll notice you have external rotation in the shoulder. Try not to open your hips and shoulders to the side. We want to square everything towards the front of the room. Now keep your right fingertips reaching as high as you can. Start to kick your left leg into your right hand, separating the legs forward and back. This opposition is what helps create this back bend. So the right fingertips still reach high. Now, when you cannot kick anymore, you start to tip forward, reaching the right fingertips towards the front of the room. You still kick that foot into the hand. This is the most challenging part. Take 2 more breaths. Now inhale the way you went in. Start to draw your knee in, reaching the right fingertips high. Then exhale, release the foot, take the arms down by the sides, shake out that right leg if you want. Just letting go of any extra tension here. Now let's hit that reset button. So inhale, reach your arms high, let your gaze follow. Then exhale, hinge forward from the hips, take your forward fold. Inhale, find your halfway lift, lengthen the spine. And exhale, step back to a downward dog. So plant the palms, step the feet back, lift the hips up nice and high. Now let's release some heat in this down dog. Take a deep inhale through the nose. Open mouth, exhale. Inhale through the nose again. Open mouth, exhale. Now find 2 full Ujjayi breaths. So breathe in and out through the nose. Regain that focus. Clear your mind, because we have one side to go of all of that. So on your next inhale, reach your left leg high, that 3-legged dog. Exhale, step through between your hands, setting up for our crescent lunge. So left leg is bent, right heel is off the floor. Inhale, reach the arms up, crescent lunge. Hips are dropped nice and low, right hip is pressing forward. On your next exhale, you can bend those elbows, shine your heart to the ceiling, finding that cactus-shaped back bend. Inhale, reach the arms high once more. Now exhale, find your twisted T here. So left arm goes back, right arm forward. We're twisted towards that front leg. Allow your left hand to come to the back of the right leg, and inhale, reach your right fingertips up, finding that exalted. So we're really finding that nice back bend here. You're looking up towards the right hand if it's available. Now on your next inhale, coming back to that twisted T, and exhale, left arm comes up, back into our crescent lunge. You can take an inhale here, find a little back bend if you want. Then exhale, find your warrior two. Spiral the heel down, capital T shape in the arms, bending nice and deep into that left leg. Inhale, flip your front palm, reverse your warrior, reach the left fingertips up and back, find your deep side bend. Then exhale, extended side angle. Left elbow comes to the left knee, right arm sweeps across the body and forward, finding that length from the right fingertips down to the right foot. Bending nice and deep into the leg. See if you can lengthen the left side of the rib cage. One more breath here. Now here comes that tricky transition again, working into our half moon. So reach the right fingertips towards the ceiling. Shift your gaze down towards your left foot. From here, as you inhale, start to shift your weight forward. Left hand reaches in front and to the outside of your left foot. As the left leg straightens, your right leg lifts off the floor. Your hip might pop like mine just did. Keep pressing the body open to the side. Right side stacks over the left. Keeping the left side long here. Remember, blocks are always an option. You have one more inhale. And exhale, Shiva squat. Right fingertips come to the floor. Bend the left leg. Right knee taps the left calf. From here, inhale, step your right leg back, low lunge. Let your right knee come down, untuck the toes, and inhale, reach the arms up, Anjaneyasana. Drop the hips down nice and low. As you exhale, pull the elbows down, open through the heart, finding a little back bend here. Inhale, reach the arms high. Exhale, left hand comes to the back of the right leg, setting up for our exalted Anjaneyasana. I may have just made up that pose name. As you inhale, reach those right fingertips up and back again. Notice how you can go a little bit further when that hand is supporting you behind you. On your next inhale, bring everything back up to center. Bring your arms back to a capital T. Then exhale, left hand comes to the floor, right fingertips reach up and over, finding a side bend. Notice how that changes the stretch in the hip. Make sure the right hip is still heavy towards the floor. On your next inhale, bring your arms back to your capital T-shaped torso comes up. And exhale, hands come down to frame that foot. Tuck your right toes behind you, engage that leg so the kneecap comes off the mat. Inhale, shift your weight forward, lift your back leg to 90 degrees. Then exhale, forward fold, right foot meets the left, release the chest down. Inhale, find your halfway lift, lengthen the spine. And exhale, release down one more time. Inhale, stand all the way up, reaching the arms high, let the gaze follow. And exhale, hands come to heart center. So we have one more round of this dancer pose, taking it on the other side. So setting up your space however you need. This time we're standing on the left leg. So reach the left fingertips high. Right arm releases down by the side of the body. Palm faces the side of the room. Now bend your right leg. Grab the inside of that right foot. Make sure you're grabbing the inside. You should feel external rotation in your right shoulder. Now keeping the hips square, knees stay squeezing towards each other. Inhale, start to kick the foot into the hand. Now reaching your legs forward and back. Left fingertips still reach high. That kick is what makes your leg go higher and finds that back bend. Now eventually when you can't kick anymore, start to reach the left fingertips forward. Let your body tip a little bit further. Wherever you are, take one more round of breath, maybe two. Now inhale the way you went in. Start to reach your left fingertips high. Right leg comes in towards the body. And exhale, release your foot down. Arms come down by your side. Shake it out for a moment. Bring your feet together underneath you. Finding your standing mountain pose, that Tadasana. Now as you inhale, find a final chair pose. So bend those legs. Reach your arms up nice and high. Sit the hips low. Now keep sitting the hips lower and lower as we make our way to a seat. So the arms will start to reach forward. The chest will release down towards the thighs. Eventually you might catch yourself with your hands. You might not. But sitting all the way down. Nice work, you guys. That's a hard standing flow. So take a moment, shake out your legs. So from here, we'll just take a nice few seated stretches. Draw your right knee into your chest and let the knee fall open to the side. So sole of the foot comes to the inner thigh. Flex your left toes nice and strong, making sure that leg is activated. Now, as you inhale, reach your arms high, find length through your spine. Then exhale, start to reach forward over that left leg to grab onto the calf, the foot, whatever feels good. This is our Janu Shirshasana. So staying here for a few breaths, you can let the spine go long at the back of the head. So forehead can come towards the shin, but do try to maintain the length through the body. So collarbone is reaching towards the toes. Staying here for 2 more full breaths. Final inhale here. And exhale, gently release your foot, coming all the way back up. Now keep your legs the way they are. Allow your left hand to come inside of the left leg. So that hand will plant. From there, you can come down to your elbow. Now this will be our revolved Janu Shirshasana. We just took our normal Janu Shirshasana. As you inhale, reach your right fingertips high. So your chest is spiraling open towards your bent leg. As you exhale, reach the right fingertips up and over, imagining that you could grab that left foot without collapsing the chest forward. So we want to keep the right shoulder stacked over the left. If grabbing that foot's not an option, keep reaching your fingertips towards the wall in front of you. You can gaze up towards your right hand if you want. Find that nice side body stretch here. You should feel really good into the right lower back particularly. Take about 1 more full breath. On your next inhale, let your right fingertips bring you all the way back up. And then square your shoulders towards the front of the room as you exhale. So final thing, using this right leg, bring your knee in towards your chest. Then cross your right foot to the outside of your left leg, working into a seated twist. Now you can either keep your left leg long on the mat, or you can bend your left heel in towards your glutes. I personally like that one because my legs feel a little bit more stable. So you can take your pick here. Now take your right hand behind your tailbone as close as you can bring it. So that'll help you maintain length through your spine. Then allow your left elbow to come to the outside of the right knee. So that little hook is your leverage. Now take an inhale, find some length through your spine. Exhale, start to use your arms to help you twist, gazing over your right shoulder. Now remembering we're not cranking the neck, it's just a continuation of the twist. And the twist really is coming from that kind of thoracic spine, working its way down. So we never want to crank into the low back. Take another inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, twist a little bit more. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. Final inhale. And exhale, gently release your twist. Bring your hands over to the left side of your body and just take a baby push up here. So this is just our counter to our twist. It's nothing fancy. Just releasing your chest down. Now bringing your body back upright. Straighten both legs out in front of you. We'll set up for the other side. If you feel like you need to shake out your legs or anything between sides, you can feel free to do that. So now setting up for our Janu Shirshasana on the opposite side. Draw the left knee into the chest. Then let the knee fall open to the side. So the sole of your foot comes to your inner thigh. Right foot flexes nice and strong. The quads are engaged. As you inhale, reach your arms high. Find length through your spine. Then exhale, hinge forward over the hips. Again, reaching almost past that foot. Imagine you could grab something that's 2 feet away from you. Now you can always release your head down if that's more comfortable on your neck, but keep the length in your spine. So you're still pressing forward, collarbone towards the toes. You have about 3 breaths here. Final inhale. And exhale, gently release, coming all the way back upright. Now we'll set for our revolved version, so keep the legs exactly as they are. Right hand comes inside of the right leg, coming down to the elbow if it's available. That's your base. Then inhale, reach the left fingertips high, expand through the heart. Then exhale, reach the left fingertips up and over. So imagining you could grab that right foot, but we don't collapse forward. We stack left side over right. And then see if you can extend your arm past your body if grabbing the foot's not an option. You can look up towards that left arm, feeling that nice stretch into your left lower back this time. Take about 2 more full breaths. On your next inhale, let your left fingertips bring you all the way back up to seated. Then gently draw your left knee into your chest as you unwind the body. So drawing the knee in. This time, left leg will cross over the right leg to the outside. So setting up for our seated twist. Now, if you bent your leg in on the first side, which I think we all did, you can bend it in here. Then left hand comes behind the tailbone. Arm is nice and long. So remember, this is the encouragement of the spine to lengthen towards the ceiling. Right arm comes to the outside of the left knee. So your opposite arm is to the outside of the leg. Take an inhale, find length through your spine. Exhale, start to twist, remembering it doesn't come from the low back. It starts from the top down, but not cranking into the neck. Take an inhale, lengthen the spine a little more. Exhale, twist a little more. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. Inhale here. And exhale, gently release your twist, bringing your hands over to the right side of your body, finding that baby push up again. So just releasing your chest down, countering your twist. Then gently press into your arms, bring your body upright, extend both legs out in front of you, and we will lay down from here eventually, so just make sure you're set up to have softness behind you. So reaching your legs nice and long, reach your fingertips forward. So here, this will be on your own timing, but I want you to roll through your spine to the floor as slow as you possibly can. So you start from the pelvis, really tucking that tailbone, scooping through the belly, keep reaching your fingertips towards those toes. The slower you go, the more your core is going to work here, but keep your heels pressing into the mat, so you don't want your feet to come off the floor. Keep reaching, keep reaching. This is as slow as you humanly can roll. And then eventually you lay all the way down and draw both knees into your chest. Give yourself a little hug, rock it side to side, whatever feels good for you. And from here, we'll move right into our supine twists. So keeping the knees into your chest for a moment, allow the arms to release out by the sides into a capital T shape. Palms will face down. Then bring your knees to a tabletop position. So knees straight out from the hips, 90-degree bend in those legs. Take an inhale here. Then exhale, let both legs go to the left side of the body. So both legs fall over to the left, finding your supine twist. Right hip will lift off, but right shoulder stays down. You can always lift your shoulders a little, untuck the right shoulder, and then lower them back down. Now, if it feels good, you can let your gaze go over to the right side of the body. Just completing that twist, and just let your body feel really heavy here. So the hard work is over at this point. We're moving into a couple of very passive postures before we find our Shavasana. So start to let go of any kind of extra engagement or activity that's happening in your body, and just let everything feel very heavy. You can close your eyes if you want. Bring your focus back to the sensation of your breath. And take about 2 more full breaths in this supine twist. Gently bring your head back to center first. Legs back to center second, drawing both knees into your chest again. Give yourself that same little rock, circling the knees, just neutralizing the spine. And then we'll set up for the opposite side. So arms come back to your capital T shape. Then legs come back to your tabletop. So finding that 90-degree bend, knees straight out from the hips. Take an inhale here. Then exhale, let both legs fall to the right side of your body, letting the left hip come up, but left shoulder stays down. So you can always untuck your right shoulder and then let it go a little more square. Let your gaze shift over to the left side if it's comfortable. And allow your eyes to close once more. Maybe revisiting your intention that you set for your practice, maybe refocusing your mind on that. And finding the sensation of the breath for about 3 more full inhales and exhales. Final breath. You can gently bring your head back to center first, legs back to center second. And just wrap your arms around your legs, start to give yourself a little squeeze, lifting your shoulders off the mat, tucking your chin into your chest, just curling up into the tiniest little ball. Take a couple more breaths. Each exhale, you squeeze a little bit tighter, you scrunch up your face. You find any last bit of energy left in your body, gather it all into the center. One more inhale here. And exhale, Shavasana. Let the legs extend long onto the mat, a little distance between the legs. Arms down by the sides, but slightly away from the body, palms facing up. Allow your eyes to close and allow your body to start to settle into the mat. Let the mind start to clear. Any extra thoughts, any extra distractions start to melt away. Your breath finds its natural flow in and out of the body. And the eyes fall back into the sockets. The jaw unclenches. The tongue falls away from the roof of the mouth. In that same way, work your way down the entire body, encouraging the sense of weight. Imagining that you're sinking deeper and deeper into the floor. And for the next couple minutes, just enjoy this stillness. And I'll be back to wake you when it's time. Without changing anything in the body, start to gently deepen your breath. Maybe wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. Maybe rock the head side to side. If it feels good, you can reach your arms back behind you, finding your good morning stretch from your fingers all the way down to your toes, as if you're taking a giant yawn. Then gently draw your knees into your chest and roll over to one side, just finding a fetal pose. And then keeping your eyes closed and moving as slow as you'd like, just start to make your way to a seat. Whatever way you face, however your legs are, is perfect. And trying to keep your focus internal as you move. Allow your hands to come to heart center once you arrive and allow your chin to bow. And just take a moment to thank yourself for doing something good for your mind and body for an hour out of your morning. The light within me meets, greets, and honors the light within all of you. Namaste.